Waterford FC, one of the lowest rated teams in all of FIFA 20. I'd be lying if I said I knew anything about them before making this video. They are 6-time League of Ireland winners, but have not tasted this success since 1973. In terms of European football, their best ever Champions League finish was reaching the second round of qualifying, where they lost to Dinamo Tbilisi of Georgia 5-0. So yeah, this is more of a build than a rebuild, and it is probably going to be the hardest rebuild we have ever done. But today, we are rebuilding Waterford FC. Good day guys, how's it going? It is JarradHD here. Welcome to what is bound to be the most difficult rebuild we have ever made on the channel. We are headed, yes, to the Republic of Ireland. I've been looking forward to this rebuild for quite some time. We are rebuilding Waterford FC. I anticipate this rebuild's going to take me days upon days, if not weeks, to complete. So if you enjoy it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Also, if you are new around here, make sure you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button down below. If you have not had the pleasure of seeing a rebuild video in the past, here are the rules. So the main objective is to win the UEFA Champions League. Every game in the rebuild is simulated except for the Champions League final. The transfers can be as unrealistic or realistic as we like. There's a big focus on the transfer window. And finally, of course, don't get butthurt if I sell your favorite player. There's the rules, let's get into the rebuild. So yeah, this is our starting 11. And to say it is a crap side is an understatement. Also, fun fact, this guy here, Holland, his name is Tom Holland. So we've got Spider-Man in our side. But there is a lot of work to do with this side. Virtually every player is going to be replaced. The only player that has half decent potential is this guy here, El Buzzetti. But everybody else really has no great upside about them. A lot of work to be done. Let's see who we can bring in. The first signing in this journey with Waterford FC is for a new defender, Jorge Garcia, a massively 55 rated Mexican defender joining us here from Cruz Azul, £150,000, a big transfer fee there. Look, there's no denying it, I absolutely love the A-League, and I'm not saying that ironically, I genuinely love the A-League. I travel around the country watching my team, Western Sydney, play. I watch every game every week. It's my favourite football league in the world. So I want to sign a fair few players from there in this rebuild and see just how far I can get the A-League's hottest prospects as well. One of the hottest defensive prospects in the A-League is Isaac Powell from the Brisbane Roar, and we have signed him for £320,000 here. I've probably overpaid here. In fact, I've definitely overpaid here, but another young Australian player that I really want to give a good crack is Luke Ivanovic. He does play for the team that is my rival in the A-League, Sydney FC, but I want to see how we can use him in this rebuild. So Luke Ivanovic, welcome to Waterford FC. A player departure here as we have sold Brown to Raheem, I believe their name is. We have sold him for a massive fee of £92,000. And potentially our final move for this opening window, we have signed Ryan Schofield here from Huddersfield Town, the young goalkeeper joining us for £170,000. So we've laid the foundations here in the opening window. 4 players coming in. I don't mind buying a bunch of mediocre players right now because with dynamic player potentials, if they have a little bit of potential behind them and they perform well, they will grow ridiculously. That's probably the part about this rebuild I'm so excited about. Using players that I've somewhat never heard of or players that I like as an A-League fan and having the ability to grow them this season, having a long time to grow them. So let's go and see how we're going halfway through the first season with Waterford. On the 1st of January, we currently find ourselves in 7th position. I mean, we are nowhere near the title race. There's just such a big gap between the mid-table and the top of the league. Like Shamrock Rovers, Dundalk and St. Pat's are the 3 big sides, but we're currently in 7th position, 19 points. Not worried about Champions League qualification, just want to keep my job and build a good squad. Kevin Lynch was unhappy, so we have sold him here for £75,000 to AFC Eskilstuna. Another player departure here. Gillingham have come in and have bought Shane Duggan for £135,000. Michael O'Connor wanted out of the club desperately. Since we signed Ivanovic, we weren't giving him any game time, so he has made the move to Bury for how much? That it's not even letting me show his overall, but it was £105,000. Normally it gives me the view player thing like that, but that's not here for these cutscenes. And it is a new defender coming in here. Leonidas Sturgeon is joining us for £220,000 from FC St. Gallen. Sturgeon into the club, Lynch, Duggan and O'Connor all out of it. This is what the starting lineup looks like as we head into the second half of the season. That manager rating makes me a little nervous though. Here's to hoping we don't get sacked. He almost left the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Thomas Holland is leaving us here at Waterford FC. He wasn't happy. He had less than 6 months remaining on his contract. I tried to offer him a new contract and he wasn't accepting it, so he's headed to Matsumoto Yamaga next season on a free. That's annoying. So a pretty forgettable start to life at Waterford FC in this first season. We have finished in 8th position. Not too good when there's only 10 teams, 38 points. There's a big gap between ourselves, Finn Harps and UCD Dublin, but top of the table, Shamrock Rovers, almost Centurions. We have got a long way to go before we can even start thinking about being in contention for a Champions League spot. Dundalk did take down Sligo Rovers to win the Irish Cup. I guess it's called the EA Sports Cup now. Liverpool took down Real Madrid to win the Champions League, and Bayer Leverkusen beat Arsenal to win the Europa League. So a pretty full-on opening season there. Not great performances, but we've built some decent foundations. The grind continues in Season 2. A player departure here to kick off the second season. Karolis Chevadoukas. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, dude. You're off to Bristol City for £105,000. Brennan Johnson has joined us here at Waterford FC. The Welsh attacking midfielder signing from Nottingham Forest for just £830,000. That is a steal in my opinion. Most of our budget for the opening window here, but definitely a player that is going to turn into a stud throughout this save. We wheel and deal once again as we bring in a new number 9, Jamie Semple, the Scottish striker coming across from Motherwell here. £400,000 for his services. We are going to make a free agent signing here, and the good part about having a team as bad as Waterford FC is that when you sign free agents, they are generally better than everybody you have in your starting lineup, and that is the case here. We've signed an Argentinian defensive midfielder, Leandro Vieira. He's going to join us for £670 a week. A very strong start to Season 2 here. We pushed our budget more than I could have ever hoped, and we're left with £56 remaining. So that is, yeah, really working our money there. We've got a good side coming together. I mean, good compared to what it was. Keep letting the players grow. Let's see how we're tracking halfway through the second season. Okay, so we're actually doing well this season. Our little upgrades we've made this season have paid off dividends, as we are currently sitting in 4th position. This time last year, we were 7th, so that is a big upgrade, and we're actually in with a hunt of Europa League football, maybe even Champions League football. So I don't know how much business we're going to be able to do, but I'm very encouraged by the start to the season that we've had. No real surprise that we've done no business here in January. £114, could have signed Messi, decided not to. Are we going to play European football next season though? That is a sentence I didn't think I'd be saying this early, but considering we're in the Irish League, it's a real possibility. Wait, what? We've finished top of the league here in the second half of the season. We're going to be playing Champions League football. Granted, we're only going to the playoffs, but that is ridiculous. We have won the league in the second season with Waterford after being 8th last season. Our players must have grown ridiculously in the second half of the season. I need to check this. Did players grow? Oh my god! Ivanovic went up from a 61 to a 65. Our team is blowing up. I'll definitely take that. We're making hectic progress here with Waterford FC. We did not win the domestic cup though. Derry City got that honour. Manchester City did take down Liverpool to win the Champions League, and AC Milan took down Monaco to win the Europa League. So Season 2, what a contrasting experience that was compared to the first season. We're in the Champions League qualifiers. I mean, realistically, we could win the rebuild in Season 3. Do I think it's going to happen? God, no. But will we try? Yeah, of course we will. Georgie Poynton leaving the club, £400,000 for the reserve midfielder. And Jonathan Lunny has also left the club, getting rid of a lot of our players. He is headed to Al Waheda for £550,000. I didn't want to get rid of him personally. He wanted out. We're going to sign 2 more free agents here, looking to get some more depth into the squad. We're pretty limited in terms of reserves. Christy Colclough is coming, or Colclough, a 60 rated English midfielder, and then Thomas Ayala, an Argentinian defender, 62 rated. He's joining us as well. A new left midfielder coming into the club here, Uros Vazic, the Swiss midfielder, joining us from FC Thun, £1 million on the dot for his services. Alright, so we are in the qualification round here, taking on Celtic. A big challenge for us here. I don't know what to expect, but we're going into the first leg here at home, and it's a 2-0 win for Celtic. They get 2 away goals. Alright, the away leg here. We're 2-0 down. I don't like our chances. It is what it is. It's only Season 3. I still think we're 3 years away from being able to make the group stages, and there we go. We're at 5-0 on aggregate. Let's just focus on the league now. Jed Spence is our new right back here. We have signed him from Middlesbrough for £600,000. 4 quality players in, 2 out. Again, I'm impressed by how quickly the squad is coming along. Most of the squad, or at least our attack, all in the high to mid 60s. Defense lacking a little bit, but definitely a good start. I think that means now our entire starting 11, except for El Buzzetti, are players that we have brought in ourselves, which I'm a big fan of. But anyways, are we going to win the league again? I hope so. Let's go check out the results at the halfway point. We're in a title race with the Shamrock Rovers here halfway through the season. 13 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses, 43 points. Very happy with the start of the season. I mean, I didn't think we'd be competing for the league title until like Season 4, Season 5. So to be considering that we're almost back to back, that's bloody good to see. Jamil Hector, the Jamaican defender, free agent here, joining us. 63 rated. Decent pickup to be fair. Welcome to Waterford FC. Hector, our only signing here in the January transfer window. Couldn't do too much, but we've got a 70 rated player finally. Johnson has cracked the 70s, and hopefully by the time we're at the end of the season, a few other players have got there as well. But are we going to go back to back in Season 3? Let's find out. We pull away again in the second half of the season and comfortably claim the Irish League here. We have won the Airtricity League for the 2nd straight season, 16 points clear of Dundalk. We've also managed to win the Irish Cup here, 2-0 over St. Pat's. Every time I say St. Pat's, it feels weird to me because the club I play for here in Australia is called St. Pat's. Fun fact of the day. Liverpool have taken down Manchester City to win the Champions League final, and AC Milan defeat Chelsea 3-0 in the Europa League. Giving you guys a little update on the stats for the season. Ivanovic is our top scorer, 24 goals. Johnston has already gone up to 72. He went up 5 overall this season. Our squad, these players are growing ridiculously. How good is that? So that is Season 3 done and dusted. Ivanovic has definitely paid off on picking him up earlier, but that is the season done and dusted. Let's crack on and see if we can actually get past the first round of qualification in Season 4. Zachary El Buzzetti has left the club here. He was growing decently, but I have decided to sell him to Stoke City for £2.8 million. And Dean O'Halloran has made the move here, leaving the club for £430,000. I am so unbelievably happy that I've stumbled upon this man. I was like, all right, let's go get a young right winger, right midfielder. And I found this guy, Jeremy Doku. Release clause, 2.75 million. Okay, that's interesting. I'll scout him, see how much, what his overall is at the moment. His overall, 77 overall, £13 million valuation. We have signed him from Anderlecht for 2.75 million. Thanks for coming. So we've been drawn up against Sparta Praha here in the Champions League qualifying round. Very interested to see how we go compared to last season where we were almost embarrassed by Celtic. The scoreline is a 1-1 draw in the first leg. Ivanovic scoring there. They have an away goal, but we're still alive here. A 1-1 scoreline here as we travel away to take on Sparta Praha, trying to get ourselves through to the next round of qualification of the Champions League. The scoreline, it's a 2-0 loss. I thought this would be the year we get to the playoffs, but it's not to be. No Champions League football for us this year. Eliminated in the qualifiers. I'm trying to really build a good backup here, a good core of reserves, whilst we go and get a good starting 11. And I've signed a few players, or I've put in offers for a few players. The first one here, Rossi Branco, an 18-year-old Brazilian attacking midfielder or defensive midfielder, 65 rated, a decent pickup for the squad. Here we go, another player coming in, João Carlos Reis Pinto, a Portuguese midfielder, 67 rated. Welcome to Waterford FC. And Leandro Ojeda is joining us here as well, a 71 rated Argentinian defensive midfielder. We've really bolstered out our midfield. So again, another very busy window here with Waterford. We haven't had heaps of money to work with, but we have brought in Doku, Rossi Branco, Reis Pinto, and Ojeda, sold Ubazetti and O'Halloran out of the club. This is now what the starting 11 looks like. Doku really helps us here, but let's go and see how we're going halfway through the season. We are absolutely killing it at the halfway point of the league season. No real surprise. We are, 17 points clear of Dundalk, which is great to see. No business done in this January transfer window either. I want dynamic play potentials to keep working for these lads here. Our offense is continuing to get better, but the defense needs to improve. I need some money sent to the club. We haven't been given much to work with, but anyways, we'll crack on and see how we finish Season 4. 104 points, not a single loss in the league, 17 goals conceded. This should be becoming a bit of a habit by now. We're going to be dominating the league every season now, top of the league again. Maybe next season we finally make it into the Champions League group stages. Not hopeful though. And again, we have won the Irish Cup, taking down the Shamrock Rovers 2-0. Liverpool did win the Champions League over Atletico Madrid, and Manchester United took down Wolfsburg in the Europa League. I know we were in the group stages. How did we go there? All right. Not a single win and only 1 goal scored, so we got absolutely destroyed. Group L, funny, because that's all that we took. Season 4, done and dusted. I really want dynamic player potentials to start working their magic so that we can really build this squad into something ridiculous. We are going to start the season with a big-time free agent signing. This guy here, I believe, is the regen of Luis Suarez. Robert Ismail Mesquida. I've been keeping an eye on him, wanting someone like him since I started the save, and we have now signed him here. 74 rated at age 19, already £11 million of valuation. Welcome to Waterford FC, Mesquida. We have parted ways with our Mexican defender, or now former Mexican defender, Jorge Garcia, selling him to Yokohama FM in the Japanese League, £2.25 million, Ange Postecoglou picking up our former Mexican defender. Our Portuguese regen player, João Carlos Reis Pinto, is going out on a 1-year loan move to Swansea City. And Walter Figueira has made the move to Newport County here for £320,000. Back in the qualifiers this season, they were facing FC Copenhagen in the qualifiers, another tough opponent. This could really go either way. In the first leg though, we are going to have a 2-0 scoreline to them. This is not going our way. We're playing with an Irish club here, so why not get a little bit of Irish flavour into it. Nathan Collins joining our backline here. I believe our most expensive signing so far, £7.6 million to bring him across from UNAM in the Mexican League. Welcome to Waterford FC, Nathan Collins. And another free agent player coming in here. This guy looks like he could be quite good. David Stocker, a German attacking midfielder slash right winger, 72 rated, joining us. The away leg here against Copenhagen. Is it going to be another season eliminated in the qualifying rounds? We're 2-0 down. They've got 2 away goals, and it's a 3-1 win for them. So again, in this 5th season, we are eliminated in the qualifying rounds of the Champions League. Another very busy window to kick the season off. Mesquida, Collins and Stock are all into the club, and we have sold Garcia and Figuera. Look at this starting 11 now though. A lot of players continuing to grow. Doku into the 80s. A lot of the side still needs to pick that act up, but things are starting to finally look decent heading forward with Waterford FC. No surprises, I won't harp on it too long, but we are top of the league halfway through the season. Not a single loss again, 24 points clear of Dundalk. This is fantastic progress. I am feeling incredibly frustrated after this transfer window. I thought, alright, maybe now's the time for us to go and pick up a pre-contract signing. I found that Gomes, the attacking midfielder from Manchester United, was available on a pre-contract. So I went to sign him and I noticed, this is before he signed with Wolves, that it said he was unwilling to relocate at the time. So I couldn't even approach him. Then I noticed 3 weeks later, he'd signed with Wolves on a free. Like, how am I meant to approach him when he doesn't want to be transferring clubs, when he doesn't want to relocate, and then Wolves get to sign him? Incredibly frustrated. A big move that could have been made in this rebuild, unable to be done. So we're going to lick our wounds, move on with the season, and see where we finish season number 5. We do even better than last season. What a ridiculous side we have. 35 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses, 106 points, 46 points clear at the top of the league table. We probably would have had the league wrapped up by bloody March, but I'm stoked that we get another shot next season at the Champions League. Maybe with a few more improvements, we can actually get past the qualifiers. A real surprise though, we have not won the Irish Cup. We lost in the quarterfinals to Sligo. Wow. Atletico Madrid took down Barcelona in the Champions League final, and Tottenham defeated Roma on penalties in the Europa League final. Did we make the group stages again? Yes, we did. Hey, we actually got a win this time. We got a win against Club Brugge in Group I. That's progress, baby, that's progress. A quick little look at our squad report here at the end of the 5th season. I know you guys like a little bit of an update. Our main goal scorers are Brennan Johnson and Jamie Semple. The players continuing to grow. What a season it was here for Mesquida. Up to a 78 already. The squad coming together quite nicely at the moment. Look at that Powell. 7 goals for the Australian. So this rebuild has been an absolute slog so far. That's the 5th season done and dusted. Are we just getting over the hill? Let's find out. Might prove to be a little bit of a controversial decision, but he was one of our first signings at the club, and it's going to be Luka Ivanovic leaving the Australian striker, signing with Girona for £17.5 million. My goal for this window is to bring in a decent right back here, so we have decided to part company with Jed Spence off to Trabzonspor here for £4.8 million. Raul Bellanova joining us here for £12 million. The Italian is now our new starting right back, 24 years of age. We've signed him from Rangers. Welcome to Waterford FC. Another starting 11 player leaving the club here as Uros Vazic is headed to Mallorca. £21.2 million for the Swiss midfielder. Dinamo Zagreb in the qualifying round of the Champions League here. Again, we're not getting any let up. We're getting a lot of tough opponents in these qualifiers every bloody season. Are we going to get past them? The scoreline in the first leg is a 3-0 win. Let's go. We might actually get past the qualification round. Let's go. And we have decided to move on. One of our regen players, one of our free agent players, Leandro Ojeda, headed to Trabzonspor here for £15.5 million. Our biggest signing so far, it is Ademola Lookman, the English super kid, wonder kid, joining us from RB Leipzig here. He had a release clause of £20.9 million, which we did activate. Look at that, he's valued at £40.5 million. He is 85 rated. Welcome to Waterford FC, Ademola Lookman. We are 3-0 up here in the qualifying rounds, looking to get through the playoffs. The big blow though, which might hurt us, is Schofield is injured for this one game. Hopefully Connor doesn't choke it. The scoreline is a 2-1 win to them. But we move on to the next round of qualification here in the Champions League. So we're into the playoff round here, trying to get ourselves into the Champions League group stages for the first time. A bit of a blow. as our midfield slightly weaker here, but we are versing Copenhagen, and it's a 2-1 loss in the first leg. We have an away goal through Johnson. We're in a tough spot, but the hope to play Champions League group stage football is not over. Vera is back into our side here. We are trying to get into the group stages of the Champions League. We're 2-1 down as we take on Copenhagen at home. The scoreline, a 1-1 draw. God damn it, this is so frustrating. I want to play group stage football. Two big additions to our starting lineup in this window. Some big dollars starting to be spent, or some big pounds I should say, but we now have an 85 rated and a 79 rated player added to our squad. I'm keen to see these guys continuing to grow, but we need to improve seriously in certain other areas. This is such a big slog, this rebuild. Let's keep on cracking on though. 19 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. Everything going to plan so far at the halfway point of the league. A new goalkeeper joining us here in January, as we have signed Martin van der Voort from AS Roma. He's only one overall higher than our current starting number 1 right now, but he's going to grow so much better. Welcome to Waterford FC. And David Stocker has moved to Middlesbrough on a 1-year loan deal. He's an absolute weapon, but I want to give him some game time so that he can grow as a footballer. Van der Voort into the club. That is how our January window has gone. Our squad continuing to grow. I think our backline still needs a lot of work, but our attack is starting to look quite good. Let's see if we can go undefeated again in the Irish League here. I feel like it's going to get to the point in this rebuild where we go a season without losing a game, without drawing a game, and ultimately without conceding a goal. We've only conceded 9 goals all season, and we have once again won the Irish League. We have also won the EA Sports Cup, the Irish Cup, 3-0 over Sligo Rovers. Barcelona have taken down AC Milan to win the Champions League, and Liverpool have taken down Man United to win the Europa League. How did we go this year in the Europa League? We actually got out of our group. Wow, we actually did it pretty comfortably, ourselves and Lazio, in the round of 32. How did we go? Did we get past that? No, we lost 4-1 to Tottenham. So that is this season in the bin. We're getting closer and closer to getting to the Champions League group stages and hopefully beyond. The side coming together nicely. It's an absolute slog, but I'm loving every second of it. Let's crack on with Waterford FC. We have decided to sell Ryan Schofield here. He's been here since the early days, but we've gotten a very good price for him. £40.4 million for him to head to Bristol City. Best of luck in the future, mate, but we are going to part ways. Our young Brazilian player, Rossi Branco, has made a loan move to Red Bull Salzburg for the upcoming season. Why is every single half-decent player in this game unwilling to relocate? I am just about done with FIFA 20 career mode at this point. Past the most recent patch, it has been so bad for this exact reason. I'm getting bloody frustrated, lads. Again, I'm loaning out Jaquilos Reis Pinto. I want to keep him growing here, especially now that it seems like we can't sign as many players from the top leagues as we want. I want to keep the players in our youth academy growing and getting stronger so that we can use them in the future. Alright, back in the qualification round, this is what our side is looking like. Lookman is injured for this away leg against Victoria Plizen. Are we going to get back to the playoffs this season? Let's see if we can get a strong start here in the first leg. This scoreline is a 3-1 win. That's a strong start. That's what we want to see. Pedro de la Vega has joined us here from Bayer Leverkusen. Doku wants out of the club, so I'm getting in nice and early and finding a replacement. And I've realized because of that glitch with the looks like a player is unwilling to relocate at this time, I can only sign players on release clauses. So I've gone ahead and signed Pedro de la Vega for £19.9 million from Bayer Leverkusen. So we're 3-1 up here into the second leg of qualification. Are we going to get back to the playoffs? Surely we are. The scoreline is a 2-1 win, so we go back to the playoffs 5-2 on aggregate. And another regen player coming into the side here. It is Ilya Suleymanov, a Russian right wing back, 67 rated at age 18. He can also play right mid, which is helpful. He looks like he could be somebody very good as we progress in this rebuild. So it is the Greek outfit PAOK who are standing between us and our first ever appearance in the Champions League group stages. Are we going to take a big step forward in this 7th season? It's looking like it, because we have gone 4-1 up on aggregate after the first leg. Ademola Lookman is suspended for this second leg, but we are 4-1 up here. Are we getting to the Champions League group stages for the first time 7 seasons into this Waterford rebuild? Yes, we are. Oh, finally. It's been so long, but we're in the group stages. So a very frustrating window. We couldn't sell the players we wanted to sell. We couldn't bring in the players we wanted to bring. We're only working in a small library of players that we can even try signing. This rebuild proved to be very, very frustrating. This is what our side looks like. Our offense, to be fair, we probably couldn't even touch for the rest of the rebuild, but our defense needs serious work. The bright side, we are in the group stages of the Champions League, so let's go and see who we're matched up with. Group D of the Champions League. Hopefully we're not going to get given the D, but we're versing Atletico Madrid, Lille, and Lokomotiv Moscow. I think we might be able to sneak into that second spot, but again, I'm not too sure about what to expect from this season with this squad. Let's just crack on and see how we go. We've done all right, but ultimately we've been eliminated in the group stages of this 7th season. I'm just happy that we actually got into the group stages. That's progress, finally, positive progress. We end up getting 6 points. We should be able to qualify for the Europa League round of 32, but we are eliminated from the Champions League. No real surprises, we are killing it once again in the Irish League at the halfway point. On deadline day, we have made a massive midfield signing here as Christian Ferreira I should say, is joining us from LAFC, £21.2 million release clause. I mean, on one hand, it's frustrating that we can't sign players if they're not with a release clause, but on the other hand, it means we're going to pick up some absolute bargains. So welcome to Waterford FC, Christian Ferreira. So Ferreira into the club here, a big addition to our starting 11. Again, I've said it a lot in this rebuild, our backline needs improvements. I need some clubs to put up some decent players for decent release clauses, but I'm assuming we're going to be going back to the Champions League again next season. Let's go get confirmation. Top of the league again, 40 bloody points clear. We're going back to the Champions League again. You absolutely love to see it. We've also got back to winning ways in the Irish Cup, taking down Derry City 2-1. Atletico Madrid took down Man City 2-0 to win the Champions League. And AC Milan won the Europa League on penalties. I know we made it to the round of 32, but did we go any further? So, in the round of 32, we lost 2-0 to Marseille, so eliminated in the round of 32. This is so frustrating. Jeremy Doku, valued at £71 million, has wanted to move away for the past 2 seasons, so I haven't been able to negotiate new contracts with him. I've tried to put him back in the starting 11. Look, contract negotiation, he's not willing to negotiate, so we're going to lose a player valued at £71 million. This rebuild just continues to frustrate me. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. When I started this rebuild, I said it was going to probably be the toughest rebuild we have ever done, but I underestimated just how tough it would be. We're moving into Season 8, extremely frustrated, but slowly building towards something special. We've spent virtually our entire transfer budget on a new number 1. Again, another silly club listing a world-class player for a decent price, £30.2 million for the 88 rated Alban Lafont here. He's surely going to be our man in between the sticks for the remainder of the rebuild. Welcome to Waterford FC, Alban Lafont. We've beaten out Monaco here to sign a new regen player, Louis Rongier. Looks like a decent player here, valued at £4.9 million already. 71 overall, he's a centre forward from France. Looking like a very exciting prospect. Really trying to put together a decent backing of youth academy players, like I've said. And we've put in 3 more offers here. Exon Kumbula, an Albanian defender, joining us here on a free. Alright, we are matched up with Victoria Plizen again here. I think it is just a given now that we need to be making the group stages every season. We're going forward. Our side is good enough. And after the first leg, it's a 3-0 win. As clean as you'd like. And there we go. 2 more free agent players have agreed to join us here at Waterford FC. Not the most starstruck players. They're not the best players available, not the most insane players, but they'll serve to be good rotational players. And I'm kind of trying to phase out a lot of the older Irish players that started off here that are now in the mid-50s for overall and replace them with young, better prospects. But Fabrizio Morelli is joining us here, 62 rated Italian midfielder. And then as you can see, Jamie Smythe, a Northern Irish defender, 64 rated, joining us as well. 3-0 up here as we head into the second leg. Surely back to the playoffs here. Squad continues to grow, and it is a 2-0 win, so 5-0 on aggregate. Semple, he's been here since the early days, and he picks up a brace. Okay, the away leg in the playoff round, we take on FC Copenhagen. We've taken them on a lot in this rebuild. Can we get up against them again? 3-1 win, that's a strong start. So it is looking as if we are destined once again to end up in the Champions League group stages here. We are 3-1 up against Copenhagen, and we win 5-0 in the second leg. Back to the group stages. So a lot of players into the club, but really only one of them we've actually paid for, and that is Albin Lafont, who definitely improves our backline, but left back and the two centre backs, they are the missing pieces to the puzzle, in my opinion. We're a centre-back or two centre-backs and a left-back away from being a Champions League contending side. Gonna have to find some great bargains. Hopefully, players decide they want to relocate, but let's go check out our Champions League group for Season 8. I would say we've received a favourable draw in the group stages of the Champions League this year, and I fully expect us to finally play knockout football in the Champions League, because we're being drawn up against Roma, Feyenoord and Lokomotiv Moscow. Finally, things look like they're going to be turning around for us in this Waterford FC rebuild. Let's crack on and see what we can do. Let's go! We're into the Champions League round of 16 in quite comfortable fashion. Ourselves in Roma dominating Group F. And we finally are going to be playing knockout football here in season number 8. How far we can go, I do not know, but we have been drawn up against Atletico Madrid. Oh God, I do not like our chances now. Atletico Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. Always good to see us dominating it in the domestic league, however. 17 points clear on the 1st of January. We have decided to part ways after a very long time with Leonidas Sturgiu, the Swiss defender, is headed to Elland Road, off to Leeds United for £39.5 million. So we have made a slight upgrade to our backline. It's not a world-class upgrade like Ferreira or Lafont have been, but Nicolo Armini, 81 rated, the Italian joining us here from Levante. Surprisingly, not on a release clause. We actually paid £15.6 million through negotiations. It's a miracle. Welcome to Waterford FC, Nicolo Armini. What the hell is that pronunciation? Nicolo Armini. And on deadline day, we have signed Musa Silla here from Alaves. He's not a starting 11 player, but he's someone that we can either sell on in the future or whatever. We've signed him for £16.3 million from Alaves. A decent backup striker. Leandro Vieira has been loaned out for the next year as well, off to SPAL in the Serie A. Hopefully he can come back even higher rated than he already is. Armini and Silla into the club, Sturgiu out of it. Slight little upgrades in this window. I mean, our attack probably won't have to touch that for the rest of the rebuild. But anyways, here we are, about to take on Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. How far are we going to go? I think if we're any chance of getting past Atletico Madrid here, we need our offense to score a lot of goals for us, because our defense is nowhere near good enough, in my opinion, to keep players like João Felix. Well, I'm assuming João Felix is going to be there for Atletico Madrid, but these top-rated players, we're going to struggle to keep them out. And the big blow as well is that we are without our starting right back, so Hector comes in there. The first leg against Atletico Madrid is a 3-1 loss. 3 away goals here for Atletico Madrid, but I mean, look how good that starting 11 of theirs is. Villanova is back, but Collins is suspended. We're 3-1 down here. We're going to need a 2-0 win or something similar if we want to get through to the quarterfinals. The scoreline against Atletico Madrid is a 2-1 loss. So it's not the most embarrassing of losses, but it's ultimately a comfortable progression through to the quarterfinals here for Atletico Madrid. 36 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, just 10 goals conceded. We're just a different level, aren't we? We're just animals in the Irish League now. And that's another cup win for us here, 2-1 against Bohemian. If this is anything to go on, we are in an alright position moving forward because we ended up losing to the eventual champions in Atletico Madrid. I honestly think that if we get lucky and can get a decent centre-back, or 2 decent centre-backs and a left-back in, we're going to win the Champions League. That's my honest opinion. Lazio have taken down Arsenal, however, to win the Europa League. This squad, despite all of the obstructions we've had placed in front of us, is starting to turn into an incredible side. We now move forward into the 9th season with Waterford FC, looking to put a final piece to the puzzle. An offer I could not refuse. This guy here, Urtzi, £9.8 million to bring him across from Banfield. But look at his rating, 88 rated, age 27. Ademola Lookman is starting to get on in age and go down in overall, so I'll probably look to sell him on. Urtzi coming in, and now we are going to hopefully make some improvements finally to our backline once we sell Lookman. And there it is, Lookman. I wanted him to be a player that stayed with us for the entirety of the rebuild, but he has reached the age of 29, which in career mode terms means you're going down the absolute toilet. He's headed to Crystal Palace for £49 million. Isaac Powell came to us as a 55 overall 17-year-old from the Brisbane Roar, and today he departs a 25-year-old 79 rated defender headed to Besiktas here. He has grown 24 overall in the 8 seasons or 9 seasons now we've had with this side. Absolutely insane, but we've sold him to Besiktas here for £39.4 million. Alvaro Lolo has joined us here. If you're wondering who that is, it is not a real player, it is a regen player. We have signed the Argentinian left back from Valencia, a £26.1 million release clause, 83 rated, a nice upgrade there. Wolfsburg, what were you thinking? We have signaled our intent to go for the Champions League this season, as we have secured the services of Eder Militao, £55.5 million, by far the highest rated player available on a release clause pickup. I know he's 29, it's a gamble, but we had no real other options. £35.5 million is decent. Welcome to Waterford FC, Eder Militao. Trying to raise revenue here to make another massive defensive signing. We have sold Martin van der Voort to Lazio, the Belgian goalkeeper, headed back to the Serie A for £23.4 million. We are back in the qualification rounds of the Champions League here, taking on Molde from Sweden for the first leg of the qualifications. Johnson is suspended, so Stocker comes in, and we pick up a 2-0 win. Semple and Urtzi both getting on the scorer sheet. So we're in a half decent position here as we get into the second leg. 2-0 up. Are we getting back to the playoffs? The scoreline, a 1-0 win. Not as comfortable as we would have hoped, but we're through 3-0 nonetheless. Again, matched up with Copenhagen here, trying to get ourselves into the Champions League group stages once again. Let's see how we're going to go. The first leg away, and it's a 1-1 draw. Okay, we're not signed, sealed, and delivered yet. So if we don't make it through to the group stages here, I will be quite disappointed. It's a 1-1 scoreline headed into the second leg. Okay, that's good. We're through once again to the group stages. 4-0 on aggregate. Sorry, 5-1 I should say on aggregate. 4-0 in the second leg. Johnson with an injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. It's another defender coming across from Wolfsburg. We're basically just copy and pasted the Wolfsburg backline. We got Eder Militao. Now we've brought in Juan Foyth. Again, a bit of a risky pickup, but when we have to do release clauses only, there's only so much we can get through. The Argentine has signed here for £37.9 million. For the first time in this entire rebuild, I finally feel satisfied with the side that we have. It's not the way I would have wanted to do it, but we've got a good team on the pitch that I think can honestly have a good crack at going for the Champions League this season. And a positive is that we have a very strong support system in our bench as well. Our reserves are alright, they continue to grow, but our bench, if there's any injuries in most areas, is very strong. So I'm very, very excited for this season. It's an aging squad in a lot of areas, but let's see if we can have a good crack at the Champions League here this season. Let's go and check out our Champions League group. So I would say this is a very balanced group. AS Monaco, Ajax, and Trabzonspor. I hope that we finish top of Group E, but AS Monaco and Ajax, we know how good their youth systems can be. 9 seasons down the road, I'm sure these players have reached their potential. This is going to be quite a tightly contested group. How good! We've finished top of the group. Ajax have actually finished bottom. They've only had 2 draws. Okay, not what I was expecting, but we go 6 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, only conceding 3 goals, and are through to the round of 16 in scintillating fashion, where we'll be facing PSG. Oh, I hope they've sold Mbappe. That is going to be really tough. A lot of big clubs still remaining, as you'd expect. But PSG in the round of 16 is really going to show us what we're made of. Are you surprised? We're undefeated. Not a single draw, only 2 goals conceded, flying again at the top of the Irish league table. If anything happened to Alban Lafont, we'd be absolutely done for. So I've spent £5.7 million here securing the services of Aaron Ramsdale. Whilst he's not the most amazing backup in the world, he's definitely better, I think we can all agree, than having a 50 rated guy in between the sticks. May as well put one of our midfielders in there. So Aaron Ramsdale joining us from Athletic Club Bilbao for £5.7 million. Ramsdale in, nobody out. This is what the side's looking like. Thankfully, Foyth and Militao haven't gone down in overall yet. Look at that, Mosquito is 91 overall. Also, Johnson and De La Vega in the 90s. That's good to see. I want our left back, Lolo, to grow a little bit more as well, though. Regardless, we're going to take on PSG and either get exposed or become very serious contenders in the Champions League. Alright, this is a very monumental moment, I would say, in the rebuild, because we're going to get a good glimpse to see whether this season is going to go to crap or whether this could be the year that we win the Champions League. The away leg at the Parc des Princes is a 2-1 win. Let's go. My morale, my hope, it's changed. They've got Mbappe. They've got Kubo on the bench. But we have gone and scored goals with Johnson and De La Vega and have 2 away goals to our name. Alright, the home leg here. Whilst my reaction made it out to be like we were definitely through, we've still got a lot of work to do here, but we have 2 away goals. Come on. Come on, Waterford. The scoreline at home is another 2-1 win. Let's go. Johnson injured, which makes me worried, but we go through 4-2 on aggregate against PSG. Our chance for revenge here in the Champions League quarterfinals. They are the reigning champions, Atletico Madrid. They eliminated us in the round of 16 last year. Here we find them, though, in the Champions League quarterfinals. Can we take them down? Can we get to the semis? Here we go. The home leg. You can probably tell I'm a little bit nervous. This is a massive, massive opponent. The scoreline is a 1-0 win. Simple. Oh my, this Scotsman gives us a lead. We keep a clean sheet. Oh yes, let's go. What? We have the advantage. They have no away goals, but just like the second leg against PSG, nothing is secured. Away in Spain, Waterford versus Atletico Madrid. The scoreline is a 2-1 win. My heart sunk into my stomach for a second there until I realized we are going through to the Champions League semi-finals on away goals rule. Oh my god, the pits of my stomach. Arsenal versus Waterford in the Champions League semi-finals. We are fighting for the right to face either Real Madrid or Liverpool in the final. It's a massive, massive challenge ahead of us. Oh, but we've gotten past Atletico Madrid. We've gotten past PSG. Surely we can get past the Gunners. Here we are, off to North London for the first leg. We travel away to the Emirates. Are we going to get a good result here against the Gunners? The scoreline is a 2-0 win. Oh my goodness gracious me. Johnson and Mosquito stepping up, getting us 2 crucial away goals. What a strong first leg. We are in a very, very strong position here, headed into the second leg. My big thing is that we pick up no injuries or no suspensions, assuming we get to this Champions League final, which we do. Mezquita, another brace. Let's go. We're through to the Champions League final, 4-1 on aggregate. Oh my god. Now we're going to face either Liverpool or Real Madrid, which is going to be insane. But we're going to the Champions League final in Season 9. I never thought we would get this far. Oh, let's go. It is Waterford, the half-a-star team from Ireland, facing the Galacticos, Real Madrid, one of the most successful teams in world football, one of the most famous sporting clubs, let alone football clubs on the planet, in the Champions League final for season number 9. I never thought we would get this deep into the rebuild. Once I was hit with the not willing to relocate glitch, it absolutely ruined it for me, but we have found a way to get to this final. We have grafted our absolute asses off here, and now it is time to win this rebuild. Let's take down Real Madrid. They took down Liverpool with absolute ease in the semis. They took down Bayern Munich with ease in the quarters, and they took down Inter emphatically in the round of 16. Let's give them a real challenge. Taking a look around the other tournaments, we took Militao and Foyth from Wolfsburg, but they still managed to win the Europa League 2-0 over Dortmund. We have managed to win the Irish League once again, meaning if we do lose tonight to Real Madrid, another opportunity is ahead of us in Season 10. And it is another EA Sports Cup, another Irish Cup, 4-0 over St. Pat's. So here we go. Here is a look at our squad report at the end of this 9th season, ahead of the Champions League final. Absolutely stoked with the side we have put together. The youth academy has come up clutch. Look at that. Vera is a bench player and is 85 rated. I mean, on one hand, having to go and sign release clause players was a blessing. On the other hand, it was just an absolute pain in the ass. Brennan Johnson, our captain, 91 rated. Pedro de la Vega, 90 rated. And then we have the man himself. It is the Luis Suarez regen, Robert Ismael Mezquita, scoring 43 goals for us this season, 92 rated at age 24, an absolute freak of nature. I cannot wait to use this guy in game. It is a challenge of seismic proportions, but we are now one win away from completing an almost impossible Waterford rebuild. Come on, win that. Good stuff from Semple. Goes to Mezquita. Slides it in. Behind. And that's the lead. The captain, Johnson, giving us the lead 18 minutes into this Champions League final. What a ball though it is from our Uruguayan striker. Look at this. Touches it, sees that run, just kind of slides it in behind. The defender's flat-footed, and that is exactly the position we wanted them in, because Johnson, the captain, catches the keeper off the line as well and is able to have an awesome opportunity. We take the lead 18 minutes into this Champions League final. Here we go, Semple. Look at that. We've caught the defender out of position, and now it's given us an overlap. Get the touch. There it is. 2-0. Mezquita sets up Johnson again. That all stemmed from the Real Madrid defender. I believe it was their left back, over applying pressure. We saw the overlap in numbers, but what a pass again from Mezquita to square it across the face of goal. Look at that. Beautiful over the top through ball. Keeper rushes, touch, pass, finish. 2-0 in the space of half an hour. This is brilliant football being displayed from this Waterford FC side. Oh my god, look at this. Look, what's the defender doing? Semple could finish this for us. We're 3-0 up. What is going on? We are 3-0 up within 35 minutes. Semple, the Scotsman, he was miles away. Why is that? I think that was Skriniar. Skriniar, look how loose he is. Beautifully played through ball there from our striker. I think that's a hat-trick of assists there for Mezqueda. But Semple is going to hit that one on the half volley. We're 3-0 up and in cruise control after 35 insane minutes of football. Here we go. That one slid in behind to Semple. Semple's going to hold it up and go back to Bellanova. If we can get a fourth goal here, that would be insane. Is he going to score it? No, he's not. What a save from Least. I thought he was offside for sure. Don't even know what player that was. Look at these gaps in the Real Madrid defense. Oh, if we could have scored there, I would have gone insane. We do have the corner though. Mezqueda. Kind of want him to be in the middle for these ones. But Juan Foyth, it comes out here to De La Vega. Screw it. I'm having a shot. De La Vega forces another insane save out of the Least. This team is ridiculous. We get another free kick here. Ertzi. He's going to run it across there. It's not what I wanted to do. But it's going to fall out to De La Vega, who I initially wanted it to go to. Oh my god, how has this guy not got another goal? And what is Erdegaard doing there? I have played some one-sided finals in my time. But this is up there with the most one-sided. Oh, for fuck's sake, and I've just gone and done that. Pavard on the attack here for Real Madrid. I'll get Lolo in front of it. They're going to go to Zaniolo. 15 minutes for them to launch something. I mean, it's not looking good for them, but I'm never going to give up yet just because I don't want to get complacent. But they're passing it around. They're not really going forward. They swing that one in there. Foyth can't clear it. What type of a header is that? But again, the question's asked, what type of a finish is that? Real Madrid, they're going to run out of time. That pass just sums up their game. One of the most lopsided victories in rebuild history. We have absolutely dispatched of Real Madrid. A crazy opening half an hour saw us take a comfortable lead, which we have held onto, and we have finally completed the most challenging rebuild I've ever put myself through. One of the most frustrating rebuilds ever. We have taken over Waterford FC, a half-a-star side from the Irish leagues, and made them champions of Europe. Lads, this one is a massive relief to have finished. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe down below if you're new around here. I will see you soon for another rebuild. It has been JarradHD here. I am out. Peace.